Shalom and welcome back to my channel for the third installment of the April 5th fight weekend. Man, okay, so here we are with another card. Richard Torrez is going to be headlining his first card against Guido Vianello. Ah, man. This is going to be another one, man, y'all. Another heavyweight bout. Let me see how many rounds we got in this one. 10. Another 10 rounder. Heavyweight bout. Let's get it started, right? Richard Torrez Jr. is 12-0 with 11 knockouts. He is 6'2", and he has a 76-inch arm reach. I didn't know Richard was this tall. I mean, and a lot of you will say, oh, that's not really tall for heavyweight. I didn't even think this dude was 6 foot. I ain't gonna lie. Probably because he's so husky. Kind of wide. I had no idea. And a 76-inch arm reach. I didn't realize his arms were that dang long either. So, this is a kid who came out of the Olympics with the silver medal. Highly touted by Top Rank, but what we were seeing is him fighting a lot of lower tier. I wouldn't even say journeyman, you guys, like just lower tier guys. I think the best fight he had was with that Brandon Moore, the same Brandon Moore that we saw on Clarissa Shields' undercard fighting the big guy named Skyler, who was tackling people, Skylar Lacey. Anyway, I honestly think that was the best showing for Richard Torrez, because up until now, I've been feeling like Richard is a little bit of a hype job, even though he is a silver medalist. Bob was not giving him competition to let us truly gauge what this young man can do. And he was coming in there just looking super overpowered, super athletic, and he could be these things, but we need someone who has a good, I want to say, background and ability within themselves to pit up against this kid. And Vianello's he's a good match. So much so. First, let me get Guido is 13-2 with 1 draw. 11 of those wins are by knockout, and one of his losses, he was knocked out. It was actually a TKO, but he is 30 years old, 6 foot 6 inches with a 79-inch arm reach. He has 65 rounds under his belt. With Richie, did I say? Yeah, he has 11 knockouts out of the 12 fights. So both of them are big time knockout artists. Both of them fairly young or newer to the game. Guido also has a pedigree, an Olympic pedigree, or amateur, I should say. With Richie, he's a power puncher with volume. His style seems reckless, but he's pretty accurate and destructive. Again, I say I didn't realize he was as big as he is, and he utilizes angles and turns his opponents. A lot of power, again, with this kid. He's actually, when I went back and really looked at some of his fights, he really is a good fighter. We just need something to test that against. Hence, we have Guido Vianello out of Italy, fighting out of Vegas now. Guido, he will fight, and he can punch, but he gets a little wild when he opens up, leaving himself exposed. With that said, also, the thing I didn't say about Richie is he actually has pretty good defense in feet. But back to Guido. He's always in good shape. He actually has pretty decent feet as well in comparison to Richie. But don't be fooled though, because he can be accurate and he can be patient. He can pick his shots very well when he's patient. So the only question, I guess, for me that this is going to boil down to now, also, let me just say, the thing with Guido, that this is the first time I saw Guido, is when he fought Jonathan Rice. I just cannot get that fight out of my head for a couple of reasons. One, I think it was a right that Vianello took.
Gotta look good against. Woo, send him back.
Man, that shot sounded off. Johnny Rice sounded off on Guido's eye. You guys, it sounded like a shotgun on my TV. I will never forget that. Yeah, it says cut from a punch in the sixth caused the doctor to stop the fight. Man, and okay, when he received that shot, I believe it was the ref who was trying to, I don't know if he was trying to not address it or he called it a headbutt. He called it a headbutt and he was just sticking with it. And even though the people were complaining to the point where the commission had to step in, and I want to say this took place on the reservation, which is the only reason why they went and did a playback, and he had to change the call. Turning Stone Resort and Casino in Verona. I'm guaranteeing you guys this was a reservation, because again, it's not something that we see. The commission stopped that fight, and they were like, "No, man, it's not. This was not a headbutt," because the ref was just really being like hard-headed and trying to let that stuff fly. The other fight we saw was with him and F.A. Ajaba, which ended in a split decision in favor of F.A. That was a pretty darn good fight. Anyhow, I think that a couple of things can be true at the same time. I think Richard Torrez can actually truly be more than just the hype job. And I know that sounds disrespectful because we know of his pedigree. But again, when you're getting these fights with these guys and all we see is you looking like Superman, it's really hard to gauge exactly how good you are. And sometimes I even wonder, when they do fighters like this, does it kind of cut their edge? Do they have to get in there and do a little bit extra to get back to where they maybe should be? Because you've been fighting down. Yeah, I don't know. Guido, I think, actually can beat Richard Torrez. The reach, again, they both have the decent feet. They both have power. I think that the key will just be for Guido to not get, like I said, when he starts to open up, he kind of gets wild. He throws wild shots open. All this midsection is open. And Richard, he's very accurate. Richard is very like I don't recall seeing him have a point where he's wild and he's loosey and goosey. He's very accurate. So again, I think Guido can win if he does not just get too wild. If he's guarded, if he uses some smarts here, if he's patient. It's gonna be a very good fight, you guys. I'm gonna pick Guido. I'm gonna pick Guido to win this fight, even though something is telling me Richard Torrez, he is gonna show up. He is gonna show out. But I think Guido can pull this off, and I'm gonna call that a split decision. I'm gonna call that Guido Vianello by split decision. And by the way, I guess this fight between them, it's going to lead both of them into another realm as far as being able to be contenders for titles. So it's going to be a good fight, and then there's some stuff on the line there with that. The undercard of this fight is also going to be a good undercard here. We got Lindolfo Delgado against Elvis Rodriguez. I like that fight, and I actually think Lindolfo Delgado, he can beat Elvis Rodriguez. He also is another Olympian with a good pedigree. Lindolfo is out of Mexico, I believe. Yep, out of Mexico. Abdullah Mason is going to be on this undercard. He was supposed to be fighting Giovanni Cabrera. Apparently Giovanni has suffered some type of injury. They're not saying what the injury is. They're just saying injury. And now he's stuck fighting someone named Carlos Ornelas. It kind of sucks. And Abdullah did speak to that because Giovanni has the higher ranking. Fighting Giovanni not only would have been a step up for him, it would have shot him up in the rankings even more. So I feel for the kid, but that's just how it goes sometimes. We also got Jahai Tucker versus Troy Williamson on this card. I'm not really familiar with the other names on this card, but again, yeah, I have Guido Vianello winning by split decision. Let's see how that pans out. I'll be back with part 4. Yee.